Hello and welcome. My name is Tisha from T's Artisan Creations, and welcome to episode 2 of Fluid Art Clutch Purses. Let's go ahead and jump right into the painting. So I used a bright red for the base and an emerald green and also white over top, and my torch to get rid of the bubbles, a straw, and I also used that world's smallest leaf blower before the straw. So this part of the process can be very tedious, very frustrating, but everything you see on the screen there is everything that you'll pretty much need for this process. I do want to make note of the fact that I did wait 1 week before I resined my paintings on the boxes. I want to make sure that the paint is fully cured, and then I do clean it with the isopropyl alcohol of 91%. Then I go ahead and resin, and then once the resin is cured, I wait about 48 hours. Sometimes I can go a week before I do these because they are labor intensive. So some of the items that you're going to need is the transparent iridescent PVC sheet. That's what that is. And then I'll show how to cut that in a little bit. Those are self-adhesive felt sheets, and then you'll cut those, and I'll show how to put your signature or something with the HTV Vinyl with using the mini heat press. E6000 Glue. That other glue that I showed was something that is very runny, and I don't really use that anymore. A pair of scissors, glue gun, heat gun, sorry, not a glue gun, your heat gun, and 91% isopropyl alcohol. And there's a couple of other items that you'll need as well. I'll go ahead and list everything in the comments below so that you have everything that you'll need. This part of the process is where I'm using the heat gun to get rid of the drips. Just heat it up a little bit. What happens is if you heat it up too much, then you can actually warp your box. So just be very, very careful and not heat it up too much. And then just take your deburring tool and you can just slide right through and get those drips off. I'll go ahead and speed up throughout this process for you. This is the point where you have all your drips off, and then you go ahead and clean the inside with the isopropyl alcohol. Make sure it's 91%. That way, if you possibly didn't tape the inside part or the edges, you can go ahead and clean off the inside and get that all cleaned up, and then it'll be good to go for the next step of the process. So I went ahead and sped you up here so that you don't have to watch the entire thing of me cleaning. But you do this to both of the boxes, get them all cleaned up and prepped for the process of adding in the felt for the inside. This next part of the assembly is where you'll see I'm measuring the box. I actually add in felt so that it's softer on the inside. And this also gives you a way to where you can put in your signature into the box. That's why I do like these, because you can design it to where you have your name on the inside of it, and it's almost like your signature. And you'll see here I measured the box, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and use the self-adhesive felt so that it sticks to the inside. They're actually pretty decent. I don't add any glue. I've attempted that before. It just makes it too stinky from the fumes from E6000. and it takes forever to dry, and then it just doesn't seem right. So I just use the self-adhesive felt. This is where you see me marking off where to cut in order to fit to the box. I'll do the inside and around the edges of the box as well, and then I go ahead and place them in. Now, one thing I do is I use the HTV Vinyl and the mini heat press so that I can go ahead and get my signature onto the felt. I had to do some research to make sure that you could go ahead and do that, but I'm not good with HTV, so I had to do some research. But as I found out, you actually can, and we'll go ahead and create our signature, and I'll go ahead and add some wonderful music and speed you up a little bit, and you can enjoy the process. So here you see that I'm trying to fit the pieces into, or the piece into the box there, and I was overlapped a little, so I'll go ahead and trim it just so that it'll fit properly. So here I'm just adding in that piece. I didn't put it together just yet, and I just try to make sure that I know what side's going to be what, and just trying to fit it all together and decide which way I want to have the purse. Top, bottom, and front or back, which side is going to be which. This is the point where I put my signature. I use the HTV Vinyl and my little mini heat press, and I put that on the self-adhesive felt sheets. I only do this on one side of the purse though. I don't do it for both sides. So just this one side, and I use the pad that's underneath I got from Cricut off of Amazon, and my little mini heat press is from a different company, but I did get that on Amazon. I use the parchment paper over top, and then I go ahead and put the heat press, and away we go. So once you remove that plastic piece from the vinyl, you have your signature right there on the felt. Remove the backing from the felt, and then you can put that right inside the box. I find that by adding the felt, it gives it a more cleaner look, so to speak, and it also creates a softer feel, if items can actually feel, but for items that are inside the purse, it's instead of them clanking around inside the purse and on a hard shell, it gives it a little bit more for absorption of sound and things like that within the purse. Plus, I feel it makes it look a little bit more professional, and you can actually get your signature posted inside the box as well. Now, I only do the signature again on the one side, and you can pick whichever side or wherever you want your signature located. And I go ahead and put the felt around the sides as well. And I also do that on the second box also. I went ahead and sped up the process a little bit, but this is where you see me working on the sides of the box. So the next part is where you're actually going to finish up there and then work on the sides. I did speed up the video, but that's the transparent iridescent PVC sheets. You cut them on an angle, and that does come with a protective covering on one side, and you'll actually have to take that off. And I cut the sides, and you saw me test there to see if it opens up enough. And then I used Dollar Tree double-sided tape to go ahead and secure it all together. I use a pair of scissors to go ahead and cut the Dollar Tree tape into like 4 different pieces. I like to have them thin enough to where I don't see them within that the edge of the frame or in that groove of the frame. I went ahead and slowed down the video a little bit. You can see me struggling with the tape there, but I wanted you to be able to see when you put the tape on the one side of the sheet, you're actually going to take that and you're going to wrap it around the inside of the frame so that the PVC sheet is on the inside. And you can see me trying to trim up the tape there. So this is where I'm putting it on, and it'll wrap around the inside part to the other side of the frame so that it loops around to the back side of that frame. And you'll see I take one of those little Dollar Tree, I don't know what they're called, tools, and I just make sure I secure it into the frame there. And this is where you see me working on the other side of it and taping and then wrapping it around the inside and securing it. And then you'll see that I'm testing to make sure it opens up wide enough. I'll go ahead and add in some music and let you enjoy. So you see here me testing the purse to make sure that it opens up appropriately. And this is where I'll go ahead and assemble the last of the assembly process. So I'm going to use E6000, not the other one, E6000, and this I just take and put the glue right into the groove there from the glue into the frame. And I know the sheets are kind of in the way, but you can kind of maneuver around it with the glue. And this is the side that doesn't have that little lever piece at the top. So I go ahead and put the glue around the entire frame. And then I'll go ahead and put the box right onto that frame. Now, once I put the box onto the frame, I do actually let it sit for about 24 hours for the glue to set. Sometimes I come back after 48 hours, but for the most part it's 24 hours. And then you see here where I'm cleaning off the fingerprints, and then I'll come back in about 24 hours. Welcome back. It's been 24 hours, and I'll go ahead and glue in the top portion of the purse, taking special care to not get any glue on the top lever. Once I have this all glued together, I do let it sit for 48 hours before I do anything else. After that 48 hours, I'll go ahead and open up the purse so that it can actually gas off from the fumes from E6000. I do let the fumes gas off anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. So the entire process can actually take 4 to 6 weeks for cure time and gas off time as well. I would like to say thank you for stopping by, and of course, once you know, my cell phone had died, so you don't get to see me finishing up. But here is the actual final product. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me any type of message or comment. And I greatly appreciate you stopping again. And hopefully you have a wonderful time and happy creating.